Well, welcome back. This time I will show how to make a basic enemy replacement for KH2. So, in the last tutorial we have learned that we can export both by sleep animations via Smash View, and I did that actually already. So that's something I have done because otherwise it will just take too much time. I have put them in Blender already and made some, I would say new FBX out of them, so to make them properly work for KH2. So what we're gonna do now is we will make the model first, and then we are going to make out of these FBX animations A and B for KH2. So I'm going to make model first quick. For that we are scaling the model up to ×100. Drag and drop the DIA in here. And that's pretty much it. It will be definitely this little guy here, and I need more unversed. I can delete the decay again, model in here, that, and I name it Horn Bite because this is the unversed name. And then I'm going to open, just go in here, and there's our A and B maker, scale, file. Then I'm going to make A and Bs, 1 by 1. Well, this will take a while, so yeah. So, since this is pretty much done, we can now add root motion to these animations that are needed. That's mostly, if I remember correctly, I think these 4 animations need to have root motion as well as the attacks and the running animation and walking animation. So let's just get started with this. We're opening our hex editor, and then I will drag and drop every single A and B quick in, which makes, I would say, a bit more stuff easy. This, well, need hit front doesn't need, probably, and the attack animation. I use all of them. I'm not sure actually. The end is just a basic enemy replacement and not a full overhaul. Oh, and if that is done, start with the first animation. All zeros. 1, and then hit save. Next one. And hitting save. Then we are doing it again. And again. Good. Last attack animation. Then I can close this attack animations after I have saved them and going next animation. Next one. And this one. Well. And the last one. Not quite the last one, but one of them. Then we can do the same again. And then only the running animation is left and the walking animation. Boom. Close that. And then I'm going to delete all the backups that will be automatically graded because I like it clean in my opinion. This one. This. And the walking animation as well. And not to forget the running animation. So, after that is done, then I will open the MSET editor. And there I'm going to open an empty MSET. I have a few made. Because why not? There's nothing in here. And then I'm going to put all the animations in here. I'm starting from top with this and rename that animation as 81. Next one. This will make things easier later on. Just doing it. 3 and 4. So, the next animation is the fall animation. We'll name it fall. This is a hit animation, so I name it hit B. There's the front. F. This is the idle animation. Then the jump animation. There's the knockback animation, so I will name it A and BA, I think. Knockback recover is something like A and BR. The front animation. Something that front recover is pretty much the same. We will make a big R there for recover since it's something new. And the landing animation. Reflect animation when you parry this filthy enemy. Running animation. And for the last one, for the last two ones. Spawning animation. Make sure that you always use 4 digits here. Because more can't work, you can't put more in there. The same goes for the EC name, but I will not name that as of now since it's not needed. I'm going to save that in here. And I will rename it as m_born_byte. Boom. So we have at least something here already. So if I then open an animation viewer, drag and drop the LX in here, we see already the model and the animations in here, and they are all working. So this is actually pretty nice already. Attack. Looking good. But this looks like more if he stops the attack. Maybe in the end I have to combine these animations, but that will depend on the replaced enemy. And this one is... Actually, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It feels like it's something that comes at the end of that too. But not sure. The falling animation, the hit animation from the back, from the front, the idle animation, the jump one, the knockback from the back, the knockback recover from the back, front knockback, the front recovering from the knockback. Wait, no. This one is the recovery one and this one is the hitting one. The land animation, the reflect animation, the running animation, spawn animation, and the walking animation, which looks perfectly fine for me, I think. So, what we're gonna do now is... it's pretty simple. We are grabbing the original model and animation stuff from original model I wanna replace, which will be this enemy here, because I think this is the one that comes the closest. So this is what I'm gonna do now. It looks like this now. 80 should be the spawning animation, 70 should be the reflect animation, which is pretty much like that. I don't know what 81 is, to be honest, which is probably a different way of an idle animation, which I will just make the same as that. The walking animation is here, or the running animation, I don't know. This enemy doesn't has a running animation, it seems, which should be normally 0-2. So I will either use the walking animation for that or the running animation. Not sure what I'm going to do for that. The running animation looks like that, it has root motion on that. While the other one here just is, yeah, in the middle and doesn't move like that, which should be not a problem. So, 20 up to 33 are hit animations, like knockback, hitting, etc. from the air, and 3 is always the jumping animation, 4 is the falling animation, 5 is landing animation. While 50 up to 45 at this point is all the attack animations. So it has 5 attack animations right here, which is probably too much for me since I technically have 5 attack animations, but these are actual attacks probably, so we have to play a little bit around that. And 90 is, I think, some sort of RC command, which will we not need, so I'm going to delete this. What we're gonna do first is we are opening the bar editor, because nearly I say, every enemy has some sort of Submset, which we will not need for our custom enemies, except if you want to add RC commands on that enemy, which I don't want on my enemy right now. So I'm going to delete this, so remove the entry and add a new entry to make it full again. Name this entry dummy, just 4 digits, raise the index on 1, and then make an A and B out of it, like every single other one here. And then you're going to save it. You have to do that first, because otherwise if you change already an animation in here and then try to remove the motion set, for some reason it will just crash and doesn't work properly. So do that beforehand, before you add your custom animations to that enemy. So now I'm going to copy over my enemy here, because we have to add collision files and the BDX, since he has an AI that he have to use for his attacks and stuff, how he behaves. What I'm gonna do is putting the model in here, extract this one, which is the BDX, and this one, the collision file. Then I'm going to put my enemy in here and add 2 new entries. And I will name it like what it was before. Same for here. You can name it whatever you want technically. Then I make a BDX type for that. And this type will be model collision. Then I'm going to import it. It has the AI of that enemy now and the model collision. Done. But now we have to actually make the enemy collisions. Because if I open it now in the MDLX editor, go on here, it will just crash because there are hitboxes and collisions bound to that enemy, even if it doesn't has these bones. So I just open the object editor from OpenKH. There we can see the actual collision files, which are actually not much. We will not need the reaction collision actually, because I will not use that, but I will keep it anyway for now. And then I will open another instance of that. And there I'm going, we are opening the MDLX editor, because this is way easier to see. And now, activate these collisions. It will look like this, and this direction command, which we will not need, but it will look like this somehow. So what I'm gonna do now is I will look for these collisions here one by one, then I will add it. The ellipsoid on this one can be ignored. We just need the ones that actually has a bone attached to it. So like the hit head. I'm going to go here again and see that is 21. I see this is attached to this bone. Then I will just going to open the torn bite and look for his hit bone, pretty much. His head, which is some sort of that, probably bone 4. Should be around on top of that, since it has also positioning, height on radius. I'm going to make it 4. And we have the next bone, which is 18, which is the lower part of the body. So I'm going to look for the lower part, which will be probably bone 2. And I'm going to add 2. The same goes for this one, since it's literally the same. But in terms of this enemy, I see already that I should go for a bone above, since this fits probably more. So I'm going to put it on 3 instead of 2, which I would normally do. Then I'm going to look for 61, which is his left arm, and 38 is his right arm. Something like here, probably in the middle of that. Then I will just look on that model again. He has a lot of bones here. I'm going to put it probably on this bone here. So let's just move along to that. And it looks interesting. So I'm going to use this bone for that, which is bone number 9. I'm going to put that in. And I do the same with the other side, which is bone 16. What a lucky hit. Okay, boom. And this actually is done now. We can save it 20 times because I like to hit the save button a lot. Then going to overwrite the MDL. Boom. After this is done, I can close all of that, and then I'm going to add another instance of the MDLX editor. This time we are putting our model in here again. Looking for that, there's no crash. And then I'm going to look at the collisions. Let's take a good look. This one, it looks like that. Some sort of that. Maybe I can make it a bit higher or something. This is pretty much only the collision file, so you can run through that enemy or something. And boom. Could look some sort like this. If I do that now, have our hit, other hit, target, it's in the middle, this collision and this collision. I think that looks pretty much good enough. I probably would make the hitboxes a little bit bigger or more to the right. So I'm going to add another bone to these spheres. I think that would look a little bit better. Going to save that, open it again, look again, and it looks slightly better. It goes more here in the middle where its actual attacks are. I'm going to keep that. Oh, and that's the part for the collision file, I would say. I think it looks pretty okay. So the next part is that I need to replace these animations, which I will do pretty much now. There is our MSET that we have with all of our animations for our little enemy. Then I open another instance of the MSET editor and put the one from the original enemy in here. And yeah. Oh, it has actually 2 times the same animation. Maybe we can use the running animation after all like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm deleting this animation. And then I'm going to put the idle animation in here. And I will name it the same. You don't have to, but I do this because why not? But in the EC name tab, I will use KH2 for Thornbite. I like it to do this way. For the walking and running animation, I do the same. And if I delete the 1, we'll also delete the 2 because these 2 we are linked on the slot here with change this pointer. So yeah, that's something you have to be careful about. Then I'm going to add the walking animation first on slot 1. Oops. Like that. Thornbite. And I do the same for the running animation. Like that. Ah, got them. Walking animation is 01A. Running animation is 02A. Thornbite. Done. So, For the jumping animation, I see there is an E-caster from the original, so I'm going to save that effect caster, like that, and then I delete the animation. Then I'm going to put the jump animation in here, then replace the effect caster with this EC, so I have copied that over practically. Then I rename it again to this one. I'm doing the same with 4 and 5, which 5 has an C caster, so I'm going to delete both. First, the fall animation, which is always 04A. And for 5 is always the landing animation. Putting it in here. 05A. Darn. Right. So, with that in mind, we have done that. So I'm going to save already or new MSET, just always in case. So look at this. It's already bigger than before because the animations we can generate are always bigger. You can make them smaller if you want, but it's a little bit of work, I would say. And yeah, since we don't need that anymore because we can surpass the RAM limitation, pretty much safety. I'm going to delete all of this though. And now I'm going to open another instance of the animation viewer because I want to look some animations up. If I go here, for 20, which I know is a hit animation, which is the ground animation. The animations for Autorn, but there are only 2 animations, so I only can use 2 animations, except if I make more, which I don't. 22 is, well, also I don't know which one is the front and which one is the back. I guess this one is the back hit animation and this one is the front animation, while this is the air animation when you hit this enemy in the air. This one also on the air, but from the back. So I'm going to look at these animation files. They don't have any E-caster groups. Then I'm going to just delete 20, which deletes also this one since it was a pointed file. I'm going to put front hit animation in here. Then I change this pointer, this one, since this is the one we have added. Then I'm going to rename it to 20A with Thorn Bite. That is done. You can just click on slot 13, click one time on there and do the same, so it will just automatically putting it like that. Then I'm doing the same with the hitting back animation. Boom. Tuck. This is 22A. Dawn Bite. Doing the same for here. This one is the front animation when you hit it in the air, which I will have no need for. So I'm just going to change the pointer. That also saves some space. And I'm doing the same with that, which is 22. Boom. So 30 is a little bit special. This one is actually the one that is the animation when you hit it really hard that goes flying away, some sort of that. So I'm going to delete that here too, which are also 2 slots. This is the one when you hit it from the front. So it's this knockback animation. Going to put that in here. Thorn Bite. And change the pointer here as well. Done. 31, on the other hand, is the recovery animation. When it stands back up and stuff. Visualize a lot of frames on it, to be honest. But we are going to delete that and adding our knockback recover front animation. And name it like that. Thorn Bite. So 23 is the same animation as 30, but the only difference is that it has that's the one from the back, which I do here. 32A. Foreign byte. Make sure it has already deleted this one as well, so I'm going to add that now. Done. And the knockback recovery animation from the back. It's 33A. Torrent byte. So, we have pretty much the first few animations done here. I'm going to add another instance. And just to have some sort of comparison. Slots 10 up to 21 are completely correct here. So this is pretty much okay. Same goes for here. Only the first 6 animations are there, which is also correct. Making sure that this is the original. Then we can save this animation moveset already. Because the next parts are some sort of this. You see already 2 another animations, but I know to 100% that there are 2 animations in here as well. I'm going back to the original one and scroll down to slot. Once here you see there is a falling animation and the idle animation. In terms of the idle animation, I can just change this pointer to the idle animation and for the falling animation as well. Then I can go back to where I belong. I know that 80 is the spawn animation, which uses actually a PAX effect, which is the PAX effect for spawning, like this. I don't know how that is called, but this is something, so I'm going to save this eCaster. And 81 is just some additional idle animation, I think. I can't really tell, so I'm just making an idle animation out of it. Done. Then I'm deleting 80, which is the spawn animation of that enemy. And then I import my spawning animation in here. So replacing the effect caster with a PAX effect and done. And I can scroll more down. I can always also just scroll the original down and see if there is something that I might miss or something. There's 78 A, which is just the reflect animation, which doesn't have an eCaster, so I'm going to delete that and import our reflect animation. Is done now. Font byte and done. Then I continue. The next one is, these are the attack animations. So up the slot. And there is already another 81 and 90. And that should be it. We will doing first the attack animations. Which are here. I'm going to save my MSET quick again. Always. And then we are looking for that. So we see already a lot of eCasters here, like sounds, etc., which I will add as well. Model state no gravity, so it's some sort of attack for I don't know what. I look for this attack, it's just a jumping attack. Doing that. We don't want the gravity part, so we will deleting the gravity part of that later on. I'm going to save that eCaster for now. See that this is just a jumping slide attack or something, I don't know. Then we will look at our animation, which is just 2 hits attack, which looks pretty decent, I would say. And yeah, I'm gonna use this one because why not? I'm going to delete this animation and import our attack animation. 50A. Gone byte. We replace our effect caster with the one we have saved. Then we are looking at it again and we see the no gravity shit here. I'm just hitting X. Done. So it's gone because we don't need it. For the damage part, we are looking again. since these are practically 2 attacks. So what I'm gonna do here practically is we are going to look at this animation. Looking what it's doing, we see that here's our first swing. I'm doing like 31 is so pretty much the frame I will choose. 31. And the attack goes up to, let's say, 38. I'm doing it like that, and then I'm going to copy that with Ctrl C and then Ctrl V to copy that same damage effect as well, because I know that this attack here has 2 attacks in it. So it's hitting with the other leaf again, which I will put at 57 in my part here. And this animation attack ends around at, I would say, 68. I think that's a good number for that. And then it's just idling back. So with that we have technically our first attack done. So I'm going to save that again, because I like to make a lot of saves. Then we are looking at 51. 51 is an attack animation that looks like a spin attack into the air, like this one, but this is just one solo attack, I would say. If I look at this, it has also no gravity and the same thing as well. So what I like to do sometimes, if there are similar attacks or something, I will just delete this animation and change the pointer to it, because I think this is pretty much the easiest you can do, since we have just limited attacks or something, and I think this is the attack I would like to save for now. Same goes for this whirl attack or this whirl attack, which is pretty all, I would say. If I look at this, you see already it does this, and the fourth attack is a bit more weird. I would say I have to combine this animation, and then there's this attack. I don't know why it's an attack animation, maybe it's just the end of some sort of attack animation, but otherwise it looks like an idle animation, which I may change with 81 to be honest, because I think it looks actually pretty decent and loops correctly. So I might do that then. Well, you know what, I will do it now, because why not? I'm going to look for 81 again. But instead of deleting it like that, you just press delete on your keyboard to not actually delete this. Then I'm going to add my fifth attack animation for some reason. Why? I don't know why it's like that, to be honest. Some animations are really weird, I would say. Then we are going back to our attacks. For 52 we have sort of reaction command and stuff, so we don't want to have this. This is the tornado attack, which I'm going to, I will replace that for sure, but this is another tornado attack, which has also a reaction command to it. It might be some sort of first part animation, and the last one is just the stopping animation, which also has some sort of attack too. So these are 3 animations I have to connect somehow. If I look at my animations, we have this attack, then the swirl attack, and then this one, which looks, in my opinion, pretty perfect since it stops right there for an attack. So I'm going with attack 2, attack 3, attack 4. So I'm going to save this effect caster, and also this one, and the last one as well, and then I'm going to replace 22 with attack 2. And name it 52A. Horn bite. Based effect caster, which is this one. Then I'm going to delete the reaction command since we don't need it. But we're keeping now the damage part and we are deleting the gravity part. We can keep this ones, they're mostly just some sounds or something like that. But yeah. Yeah. Then I'm going to look at the animation again. I see that this one has just one attack and it attacks only at frame 40. Which is like here. So my attack on the other hand spins a lot more. I maybe need a way to do multiple attacks just for that. So in order to achieve that, I'm going to use an attack that has normally Roxas, I would say, because I think this is the easiest one to actually use right now. So let me see. I'm going to use one of the Submsets from my no hard file because I know there are multiple attacks in here. This one's. There are not a lot of attacks, man. Ah, there it is. I'm going to use the unknown value, which is trigger 33 if I remember correctly. Yep, 33 with this value. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to delete this one, then click on plus, click on other, then type 33, which will give me that. I'm going to add the value for this one by clicking here to 8024. But that's not all, since I wanna combo this attack. I'm going to add a parameter for the animation group, which you can find in here. One byte. Collision, which is group 1. So I'm going to add the group as 1. And then I add another parameter, which is some sort of combo like that. I'm going for the first one here. I see this one is 1. So this is the first attack. And the second attack has a 2. The one has a 3 for comboing or some sort of that. I don't know. Call that properly. I'm going to put a 1 in here and done. Then I just have to adjust the frames again. So we are looking at this animation and frame by frame. It's spinning like here, and I will say this is our first hit, which will be 75. Going to end it around here. Around here. 63. And then we have our first slot pretty much done. Then I'm going to Ctrl C again and Ctrl V to copy that and change the last parameter to a 2 because this is the second attack of this attack, I would say. Oh. And then we are going for the next attack, which looks for me like around, say, 56. And it ends. This is a bit weird, to be honest. Okay. Around here. Let's say 75. I'm doing the same again. Adding the entry to 3. Spinning more. I would say this counts as an attack as well. So I'm going to make 81. This one attack ends around here. 5 frames of that. Next attack. See around there. These are pretty fast, more attacks, but I think I like it that way. So careful if you fight him. Adding that. And it ends around here. Yeah, let's say here at this frame. Let's make probably 5 frames out of it, otherwise it might be a little bit inaccurate. And I would say it does a fast end attack or something. Let's say at this frame here. 98. The last attack. Which are also just a few frames. So I'm going for always 5 frames in between, or some sort of that at least, because I think that works probably the best. And then it's doing it again. I would say it looks pretty cool, so I'm going to keep it like that. And going to save the new MSET. Then we are looking for the next one, which is another tornado attack. But this time it's literally just a spinning tornado. But the thing about this attack is 52 rises to the air, and after this it uses instantly this animation for it. So I'm going to save that eCaster again, which I already did for some reason. Okay, then I'm going to delete it and put our 4th attack animation in. A53 Thorn Bite. Then we are looking for attack number 3 this time, which is just a spinning attack. I'm going to look at like that. It attacks, moves on to the next animation, which some sort of that. I'm not 100% sure if it is perfect or something, but I kinda like it. So I am going to keep it like that. And I'm going to replace the effect caster with correct data found in the file brought an error. Why? That's quite interesting, to be honest. This one works normal. I don't want to risk it. I never had that issue, so I'm going to use that like that. There's our attack animation again. Or you know what? We are going to save this eCaster again, because there are multiple attacks as well. Going to do this and boom, we are back to business. So if I look at this animation right now, it's already spinning, so I'm going to just adjust the frames here to make more sense, I would say. This, starting the next one here, another 5 frames. Let's make it like that. Starting the next one. For 25. Next attack at 26. Let's say 32. And this is pretty much the last attack, which will start at this one. Yeah, looking good. Wait, this is attack 3. Why do I have 84? This one's correct. Why is that animation though a bit weird? Did I chose the... Oh, I have the wrong animation. Okay. Which is easy to fix. We are putting attack 3 in here. Yeah, that looks now correct with these frames here. And this. And then this. and doing 53A. So that's pretty much good looking, I would say. So the next one is model state no gravity again, 54, which is pretty much the last attack here, because 45 is just going back onto the ground like a falling animation or some sort of that, I would say. Still has no gravity. I'm going to use for that 4. This one here. Alright, I was just for a second not sure what to use there. So I'm going to replace the effect caster with the one we have here and putting deck 4 in here. That's frames. I'm going to again. 44A. Born bite. And this is pretty much. So I'm going to look for the animations again. I say this one is 1 attack. 4th frame. Goes around up to this frame, which looks correct. It starts the next attack. And it does it around up to this point. Starting the next attack at frame 20, I would say. Boom, there's more. Round 31. Next one. Around. Ah, okay, it stops around like that. So I'm going to delete the last 2. It's still like 3 here and stuff. And that should do the trick, in my opinion. I'm going to save that again. And then we are moving on with original one here again, because the next ones are this slot here and this one. In terms of 81, we have already that slot in here, which is this attack 5 animation, if I remember correctly. Yep, looking good, because I think it would look like a good second idle animation or some sort. I don't know what that is, but I think it looks pretty good for that, so I'm going to use that. And it's not here because we had deleted it. I'm going to insert it again. And about this one, it has some damage, which is practically just the one for, yeah, the attack that it does for when you fail the reaction command, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to use for this attack just, I think this one. I think that looks pretty okay. And that should be fine. So it's a 52. Wait, is it 52? Yeah, seems to be 52. And doing that. And that's it. We can save that MSET now. It should be configured completely. And then we can close all of this. This. And this as well. And this too. And this as well. So we are not completely done yet. We can playtest that shit now, technically. But I won't do it. We are going to copy that now. Rename that now. M_Born. Sort of that. Because we have some slight issues now. Because of some frame returns. Which we will have to fix. We are going to open our MSET editor again that we have closed. Then I'm going to extract the jump animation. Going to extract that. So it will be seen here, and I'm going to do this as well, because we have no need for that anymore. I'm going to do the same with the fall animation. And I'm going to do it with the knockback animation. And the second knockback animation. So that should do the trick because we have 4 animations there. The thing about this now is we have no frame return. So yeah, we have to do something about that. I'm going to open again an empty MSET. I will explain in it why. There. MSET. Then I'm just putting this in here and going to save that in our original folder here as a empty one. I'm going to rename our original one into this one for now. Copy this name to this. What we have to do now is we have to add actually the frame return ones, because if it's about to jump or something, it would always go back onto frame 0, which will look like this in-game then. But if you set this one now to 9, which is the frame end, and this one, it will stop exactly at that last frame, which is this one. It may look not perfectly since you want some sort of animation or something, but I think it's the best solution in order, since you can't really test it all the time and make these little changes. Why we have put a single animation in just one MSET is because if you would edit an entire MSET of that here, with all the animations in it and save that MSET, it will break for some reason. Don't ask me why, it just breaks completely. That's why we just do one animation, save that new MSET, extract that single animation and put it in our original MSET what we wanna use. I have set that like that and press 20 times on metadata, save metadata, then overwrite MSET. And that saved our MSET here, and then I'm going to just put it again in here and then extract our pointed file and replace it with our old one. Then I'm going to delete this one, grab the next animation, save it, and then put it again in our object editor, doing the same again with this animation. See already, this is the falling animation, so I'm going to save that, overwrite MSET, putting our new MSET in here, extract the animation, putting it in here. Going to delete this animation, next animation, save animation, put it in here in our object editor again. Doing the same here. Hitting save multiple times, overwrite MSET, putting it in here, extract the animation, stuck. Deleting the animation, put the next animation in here, save it again, and putting it again in the object editor, and adding the frames. Frame return. Save, overwrite MSET, then I can close that since this was our last animation. Extract it again, this, and then we are done. I can delete this one now and rename that back to our original enemy, MSET, animation, whatever, and then putting it in here. Then I'm going to delete our jump animation, put our new animation in here. I do the same with the fall animation. It's here. And I'm scroll down here because you know that this one has a pointer, so I'm going to add this as well. Why does it have not a name for some reason? I don't know why. Maybe I forgot for that specific animation. Why is it XXX? Whatever. I'm going to do the same with 30. Putting our new 30 in here, which also has for some reason XXX. And I don't know why. And then I'm going to do the same with 32, which also has the same C number. I don't know why. And then adding this back again. So, this is pretty much done. Then we can save our new MSET again. That's pretty much it. We have technically now a functional enemy. But if it would be just a simple, stupid enemy replacement, you will just name the model and the MSET to MX730 because you wanna replace that enemy. But I wanna add this enemy because this will be a custom enemy for the Mirage Arena. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to open KH2FM editor from Ostanova, putting OBJ entry in here, and we see a lot of things here. I'm going to sort this by model names and looking for MAX 730, which is this one here, Tornado Step. Then I'm moving that to my left screen and open another one because I want to copy the entries that are there, since it's still some sort of replacement. I'm scrolling completely down, add a new entry in here, name it 3521 because this is the next ID I'm going to make. Look on my second screen here that this is the enemy I want to replace. I like to do it like that so this is always on top. And see the type ID is 4, which is Sako. So I'm going to type in here 4. Look to the left again. There's nothing I have to do anymore except for making the name, which will be m_born_byte. I'm copy this name and add it in here and add MSET. Enter. Boom. I'm going to look on the left side again here, see if there's something different. This is all cut out pretty much. Next thing we need are just these entries here, which I'm going to copy in here now. So M is just a target ID, Neo status is this number here. Then we have Neo moveset, which is nothing, the weight is 100. The spawn limit is 10. I like to copy all of that because it feels like official sometimes. And here I'm going to put 1 because this is a small shadow and it's a default enemy, so we are doing this. And that's pretty much for the OBJ entry part. Then I'm going to export this OBJ entry into our original one. Then I'm going to add the battle bin, and under ENMP I'm going to add a new entry for this enemy as well, because otherwise it will just use the tornado step, HP, damage, etc, which looks fine, but I wanna add a new entry because it has a little bit less HP than a tornado step. And also, our enemy is weak to fire, so we wanna add weakness to fire as well. Let me just look for something quick. I think I have to make it 50 or something, so it's weak to that, right? Wait, it's not resistant to fire? No, wait, it's resist fire for some reason. The ice cube? But what the... I just assume I have to put 50 in here, otherwise it's 150 what I'm gonna do now. We are adding a new entry. So, all these entries have like 100, 100, 100, 100. I can keep that probably. I will change the XP a little bit less, 75 or something. I think that's good. And HP to, I would say, 75 as well. I think that's good. And the damage cap for that, I will leave it the same. I'm scrolling completely down. Add a new entry, which will be 264. The level will be 0 because this will be flexible or some sort of that. The HP will be 80 now. Max damage is 10,000. Minimum damage is 500. The physical resistance is 100. The fire resistance will be 50 because it's weak to fire. If that is wrong, then you have to make 150 out of it. I'm not sure if it goes up or down. I just think it's 50% of... Also less 50% of that what you usually have, I would say. It's pretty hard for me to know right now, to be honest, because I don't do that often. Adding all of this again and general resistance. Experience will be 75 and the rest will be just zeros, like here. That's just zeros. You can use a bonus level as well, and it will use it as a bonus, but I will not use it. So I'm going to save that. 00 battle bin. If I look for that again here. Surely hope it's saved. Yes, it has 80. Perfect. What I'm gonna do now is I will open my calculator and type in decimal here in the programmer tab. 264 in here, which is 108. And then I'm going to look for tornado step 1, which is 12. So I'm going to minimize that. Then I'm going to open the bar editor again. Put our model in here, extract the BDX file. Then I'm going to open the BDX file in a hex editor. Because I want to change the ID now. Because with this AI, it will always use ID number 12. So these stats, which I don't want to do. So I'm going to open the AI, the BDX file inside an AI hex editor. Search for hex stuff. Like FF, like this number here. Press enter, and then it will look like this. So this one is actually the one you don't need. So you press F3 on your keyboard, and it will show you more stuff. This looks actually more legit because down here is another FFF46. So that means this one is actually correct on some, like, inside here, this block, you are looking for 12. So what is 12, you might mean in hex? Which we are going to look for that now. If you have decimal 12, it's in hex just C. So you are looking here for C somewhere. C, 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 A, 0, C0D. Where is it? Where is the C? Or it might be this one actually. Might be some more up on top or some sort of that. So you have to look correctly for the stuff you are looking for. This is the tornado step, so it have to be... Oh, it could be this one too. Let me just think about it. Wait, no, this is 12, right? Yeah, this is 12. So it have to be this one, not this one. This is 100. So this is the one you wanna seek. And this ID here is stored in an int16 or uint16. I don't know what that is. So you just mark both of them with hex numbers here. It will tell you this, and in the part of this here, what I have marked right now, you put 264 in here, because this is the ID I have put here, which is the ID for that, which is in hex already 108, and you see already 108 in here. I have to read that pretty much backwards. So 0108, and that's pretty much it. Then you're going to save that. And then you are going to import the new AI into the MDLX model and press save. And with that, the model now uses our newest entry in battle bin, which is here. And close that again. Alright, for the next part is pretty much the testing part and stuff. What we're gonna do now is we are going to rename this AUS file into Hornbyte as well, because I wanna use the same hex effects for that. But I will not customize that, I'm sorry. Just a basic tutorial. Then I'm going to put everything into our OBJ file. So for a new enemy. I do the same with our Map Studio folder, because we need Map Studio. I'm going to put our Map Studio folder, which you choose to work with Map Studio with. So an extracted copy of PlayStation 2 Kingdom Hearts is enough in my opinion, which works the best. Because you don't have all these weird things with different languages later on, so I'm just gonna stick with that. Then I can close this folder, and then I'm going to actually look for the AUS file of this one here. So we are going to data, KH2, remastered, OBJ, scrolling down to M730, which is our original enemy, and I'm going to copy that remastered folder. We need that. And then I'm going to put it in here, in our remastered mod folder, and rename it to our Hornbyte. Boom. Then we are going back to data, but this time we need an extracted copy of Birth by Sleep, then remastered. Then going for arc, enemy, and looking for our Hornbyte enemy, which is this one here. This is the original texture of that enemy, but I will change that later with something else, because I want the original files of these enemies. But for now I'm going to copy that, making a new folder named m_Hornbyte.mdlx, and copy the texture in here and rename the texture to -0. Our model only has one texture, so this is what we're gonna do now. And then we can minimize that again. And then, just for the lols, we are testing our mod, which is a good point to test. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. Even if we wanna test it now, we can't actually open it. We are going to open Map Studio first, which is an open KH tool. And then I'm going to look for my folder where I want to replace these enemies. It's 03, so it have to be... Is it LM4? Oh, this is the boss. LM1, is it not? Is it this one? Ah, it's this one. So this is our battlefield for these enemies as of now, for the on-burst part. I have already a test object here. So there's Sora, there are 5 enemies that spawns, and first the first 3, then the other 2. I have already named it correctly with everything I need. Battle level is 40. I hope I have made it 40 because this is the one I wanted to use. But I will make it for the tutorial now 99 because Sora's stats are also 90. Like it is maxed out. So then I'm going to open our spawn group 1 for our enemies. Click on that and type in here Hornbyte. Ah, frick. I'm going to... I have to copy our OBJ entry first and open again our Map Studio folder. I forgot that all the time, and put replacing our OBJ entry that we use for Map Studio. Then we are going to open it again. For LM3. Spawn editor. Duck 1 and our battle level will be 99. Compile. First enemy. M_Hornbyte. There it is. And if we click that, we see already our model in here. Then we are doing the same with all the other ones. They will disappear because Map Studio has actually, for some reason, an ability that, yeah, I don't know. If you have multiple entries of the same enemy in here, it will just let the other ones disappear for some reason. So don't bother with that. Then I'm going to save our new art file, which is in our mod folder. And save. We can close that, and then we are testing our new enemy. Let's see how it will look like. Will it crash? Will it work perfectly fine? What will happen? That's what we wanna see now. I'm going to make the music a little bit louder. Just a little bit, it should be enough. And we load our save file. And see how the enemy will perform. I play, by the way, with mouse and keyboard just for testing purposes. And we see already our enemies that are standing there and do literally nothing right now. So we are waiting right now, and if we look at this, it seems like they are not moving forward despite wanting to do that. They're trying to attack though. If I go near there and wait for them to attack. See already, it hit me. Ow. 5 frames in between. Oh my god, they're strong right now. So they can't move forward. Why is that? One I may say. I have added root motion to the animations, but the animations itself are just standing in the middle, which is kinda bad actually. If I'm doing hit them, it's totally working. Looking good. Now magic. Ow. Working perfectly fine. And they have a lot of HP at level 99 to me. Ow. But they're not moving, so this is something we have to fix now. And this is what I will do. So I'm going to open Blender now. Deleting these parts, opening our animation that we have set before, which is first the walking animation, which you see here. I have no texture right now on that, so this will... Oh wait, it will load. Hey, it's still linked, cool. So there's our walking animation. It's just in the middle and doesn't walk forward. So in order to just fix that, we are going to open the graph editor. And we see all of this. I'm going to open that, hide everything. Then I'm going to look for the root bone, which is somewhere here. Root bone, root bone, root bone, root. Come on, where are you? Ah, there it is. Or root bone. Then we are looking for the X location, if I remember correctly. And if we move both points now up, you see here. Oh, it's moving like that. So it's definitely not this one. This is Y. Nope. It's Z. It's the Z location. Okay, got it. Now, looking like this, you can move it around like that. But this is something I don't want to do like that. So I'm going to let the animation pretty much play and see how it will look like if it should run. So I'm going to only mark the last keyframe here. This only has 2 keyframes, the first one and the last one on the root bone. If I move that now up a little bit, this will appear down here. Move. On move X, you put 0 in there. You don't want to have that. And then you can just move up this one here. If you move that up to a certain point, like let's say or let's say 3 meters. It will look like this, and if I move now the animation, it will walk up to a certain point. If I move that back down, it's now 0 is now the new one. We have put it on 3, so I'm going to put it now on -1, so -1 meters. And then we will look again, and I think that looks pretty doable, I would say. I'm going to export the new animation. Just like that. Boom. Then we are doing the same with the running animation. Import FBX, walk, run. Then we see already here, graph editor, this, hiding everything, looking for the root bone, which is about here, the Z location, and this time we have to be a little bit faster since it's a running animation. So I'm going to move that up again, looking for it, -1, 0, and this on 1. And if the animation plays, it looks like this now. So it's, in my opinion, a bit slow for a running animation. So I'm going to move it even more up, like this time instead of 1 meter, I add 9 meters, so in total it's 10. And it will look like this now. But this is pretty much more the distance instead of speed. We don't really need that actually, this is not necessary. So I keep it like this, and it should do its thing pretty much fine for 1 meter up to. I'm going to just export it, run, stuck, minimize that, and then I'm going to open or ENMP maker here, and or yeah, torn by animation thingy. First with the running animation, root 100, and this is done. We are doing the same with the walking animation, root 100 and folder. This is done. Then I'm going to start with the walking animation first. I'm going to open a hex editor again because we have to add root motion on that animation. Scrolling completely down. 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, save. Then I can close that again, deleting the backup, name it short walk for now, and the running animation as well. Pulling down, adding root motion, and done. Then we are opening our MSET editor again, opening our foreign byte enemy, which is here. MSET of it, deleting walk and deleting run. Then I'm going to put run in here. A foreign byte, and for the walking animation as well. We shouldn't do anything about that anymore. It should be now working. I don't forget something again. Foreign byte. So, going to save that MSET. Oops. I didn't mean to save it in here like that. Overwrite or MSET. Then I can close it. Then we are going to test it again, which should be now done. Alright, let's see. Let's see how it will look. They should now moving. At least correctly. So, from the looks of it, it looks already pretty good. Come on, just run. Yeah, they're now moving forwards. Standing still. Coming more towards me. As long as the animation and the AI wants to be. There are the hitting stuff. Ow. Ow.
Okay.
This also works. I should have some different attack animations they want. But yeah, overall it's working. So that's pretty much it. The enemy does its thing. And the only thing I can now show you is how to make list patches for that. So what I usually gonna do is I'm going to open our KH2FM editor again from Ostanova, putting our OBJ entry in here and moving to the last one, since this is our enemy. Then I'm going to make a YML file, which you can pretty much do in the normal editor here. There I'm going to just scroll completely down, since I have already some entries. Copy the last entry here. And then add, changing the entry here. The object type of our enemy is a Zako type. So I do it like that, which we can see here. It's just Zako. The flag is 0, the object target ID is M, which we have here. And the padding will be 0, the Neo status is this one. No Neo moveset, it has a weight of 100. The spawn limit is 10. H is 1. It has a small shadow, so we are naming it small shadow. The object form is default, since it's an enemy. Default. And everything will be false as well, since we don't have anything of it. False. And this is how you add an OBJ entry list for OBJ for list patching. Makes it more compatible with other mods. Going to save that again. And then we are doing the same with the ENMP list, because we wanna add the battle stuff as well. So I'm going to put that in here, opening ENMP for the enemies, rolling down for our entry here, last one. And we are just adding new entries for that as well, which is a bit smaller. So I name it Born Byte. Add the new entry at ID 264. It will have level 0. Their health is 80. Max damage is 10,000. Minimum damage is 500. Fire weakness is 50. I hope still this is correct, or I'm fucked. And experience will be 75, no price and no bonus level. And this is how you make an entry just for the ENP list if you wanna add this without changing it right here. I mean, I have done that, but you can do it like that as well. So it will just work like that. Going to save that. And in order to make it work with your mod YML, you just add the entries like here. This is a list patch with name, OBJ battle in, binac, source, ENPM, list patch, list, source, name of your file, type ENP. And you do the same with OBJ entry, which will look like this, just for OBJ entry. And this is pretty much it. Now you have learned how to make a basic enemy replacement and stuff. I hope this was again very helpful. This is from my side again. and maybe we will see us in the next tutorial once again. See ya!